Hi, how you doing? I really thank you for your sweet but sadistic invitation to here right after finishing show in Paris. Thank you very much. I've been wondering when I talk here, I knew that in this university, in this college, there is no fashion course. So you all specialize in many courses like scientific or literature, AI, or anyway, many courses, but not fashion specialty, right? So I was wondering, which kind of story should I talk as a fashion designer? It was a big question in me. So probably I talk firstly, very shortly, the reason why I became a fashion designer. Is that right? Okay. Very long time ago, I was born as a war widow only son after Second World War. Then I didn't know the meaning of family because mother and me, just two, we started our life even from minus because Tokyo was bombed and we lost almost everything, and the money value dropped down. The money became just a paper. And then my mother made up her mind not to get married again. I wanted her to get married some good, handsome guy. It must be, for me, lighter, easier. But she made up her mind to work hard and grow me up by herself. So she went to dressmaking school to study dressmaking 2 years. I was sent to my mother's mother, I mean my grandmother, and I had grandmother. It's a countryside of my mother was born. And I was spoiled by two grandma. It was so sweet moment. It was countryside, surrounded by mountain, river, and sea. So I was really enjoying the nature, playing around. So if allowed, if I can come back to some time, I want to come back to that moment, that 2 years, when I was 3-4 years old. It's unbelievably, I was happy. But after graduating from dressmaking school, my mother came to the country, her grandmother's house, to take me to Tokyo. Then my hard life started. I slept every night. The next door, where my mother was working so hard until very late So I was listening to the sewing machine and smelling the iron pressing fabric smell. Every night I was sleeping surrounded by dressmaking condition, and I hated it. I really hated it. Sometimes my mother worked too hard, so she looked terrible. She looked like even violent to me from when I was 4 years old boy until now. I have been spending my life with my mother. It was kind of heavy and happy and heavy. Because my mother was working so hard, I acted to be a good boy until I graduated from high school and passed the exam of famous university. After passing a famous university, I said to myself, it's enough, maybe it's enough. I can be free. So I went hitchhiking travel. I started ship travel from Yokohama, and I arrived in Nahotoka, Russia, and I traveled Siberian Railroad to the northern country. I forgot the name of the country. Denmark or no? Before Denmark, can you say Northern Ireland famous?
Sweden. Iceland.
Anyway, Northern Ireland. Those countries were so clean, looked so clean, and trees were so high, and the people were so high. I felt like I was walking in the high buildings. My generation people. I don't like to talk about this. My generation and my younger generation, my elder generation, 3 generations Japanese are most smallest as a Japanese. Because of the war, we had nothing to eat. So from that point, I was already angry about that. And then, after walking northern Ireland, northern countries, through Netherlands, Germany. Finally, I arrived by train, Paris. Then, at the Paris station, it was maybe Kitaeki.
Gare du Nord.
Gare du Nord station, North Station. There was people shouting each other, not a color, shouting, and it was the smell of gorowas, jitan, and the street was full of cigarette, after passing clean countries, I arrived at Paris. And I felt, wow, this is my town. I came back. I told myself, even I firstly visited Paris, but I felt this is my town. So my fate started from that moment when I was the third degree of university boy. Then I naturally graduated and asked my mother, can I have your job? My mother was doing dressmaking for neighborhood. Can I ask her, can I have your job? Then she didn't talk to me around 2 weeks. She was disappointed because this university, it was very expensive. She kept paying it, but I wanted to work and help her. So she got disappointed. 2 weeks silence. After that, she told me that if you really want to help me, you have to go to fashion school. At least you have to study cutting. I said myself, I did it. I can continue to be a student. I can be in the moratorium again. Because since 4 or 5 years old, I started looking at society through my mother. And the society looked so unfair. And I hated the adult society. That experience decided my mentality. By the way, again, could you pick up the machine?
Yep.
And then could you push the button number 2?
Yes.
I want people to listen to my favorite language in English. Number 2.
Yes.
My favorite language.
My most favorite vocabulary is asymmetric, contradiction, opposite, corruption, immoral, absurdity, idiotic, ludicrous, resist, destroy, destruction, disobey, incomplete, enjoy, poignant, morphing, damage.
Okay. This is my start. You young people, have you ever tried to look at your face by putting paper on your face and look at mirror. Seriously? When you put paper on the left, your right face sometimes gentle, but when you do like this, your left face is angry or terrible. Like that, human being's face is asymmetrical. You know that? You know that? Like face, human's body is asymmetrical. Like very typical symmetrical is like this. So many people like this. So many people like this. My right foot is 2 centimeters shorter than left foot. I don't know why. But anyway, human being's body is from the face to asymmetric. And I'm very much inspired by this. For designing the clothing, for cutting new outfit, I preferred asymmetric something. I hated the famous 18th century curved body, the beautifully nice hip corset, and the very tiny shoes as a doll for men. I hated it from the beginning. So I decided, helping my mother's order shop, I started thinking that maybe I'm going to create the outfit, clothing for independent women who is not doll for men. This is my very start of designing clothing. Maybe is it enough for my career? It's too short. If it's enough, you feel enough, you can raise up your hands or any way. I accept your questions. Is the right question time?
Yeah.
Okay. May I sit?
Well, thank you for sharing your story with us today. It's an incredibly special one. I thought I'd kick us off with a couple of questions myself before we moved out to take some from the audience, if that's okay. How would you say the fashion world has changed since you first entered it?
When I started ready-to-wear company, so many fashion journalists came to my office, and they told me, Yohji, what are you doing? Why are you making such a dirty outfit? In Paris, in Milano, there are so many beautiful outfits. Why are you making such a dirty, broken outfit? I was kept talking by journalists for so long time. So I decided maybe in Europe, in Paris, might be very strange person who could like my strange outfit. So maybe I opened my small shop in Paris. That was how many years ago? 36, 7 years ago, I went to Paris to open a very small shop. Then I did for the memory shop opening show, fashion show. Then I had a big shock. Many buyers rushed to my shop and to my office. Not journalists, buyers. Do you know the reason why? Buyers from the world, they own their own shop in each town. Doing one fashion shop, you have to rent space. You have to pay for salespeople. You have to buy from maker, and you have to sell, which you bought in Paris or Italy. It means buyer's job was live or die. It was so serious. They were so serious about new thing, so they rushed to my shop. Journalists didn't care. Some of the journalists said, after looking at my outfit creation, the most terrible one was Hiroshima. Can you believe that? Dirty, broken, is not clothes. Finally, Hiroshima. And my most favorite critical page was WWD from America. Big newspaper. And on one side there was a Commercialism outfit. And this side, my outfit. And they put okay. And underneath, by alphabet, they wrote sayonara, means goodbye. I almost laughed it. I didn't hate it. It was total booing, total no thanks, but that kind of a little bit joke criticism, it was nice. I started from that point. Then, after 10 years doing fashion show in Paris, past, people started calling me maestro. I didn't understand. What? I was making dirty outfit from the spirit of anti-fashion, and they started calling me maestro. Maybe I'm successful. I had this feeling. Then afterwards, I couldn't create for 5 years.
Thank you. Do you think that there is a conflict between artistry and commercialism?
Especially fashion business, is one side is business, and one side is creation. Not beginning creation, it's just making clothing. it connected strongly. You can make it two. You can divide. It strongly sticked business and making clothes creation. So I explain easily. I buy the fabric. I buy many tiny metal like scissors and paper and sewing machine. I buy fabric. I buy iron, sewing machine, and plus rent of the shop. Until then, I pay everything before customer buys. So it's been a terrible gamble until you get customer. It was so terrible. But natively, I love gamble.
Thank you. I think now's probably the perfect time to open up some questions from the audience, if that's okay. So if you'd like to ask a question, please raise your hand and we'll bring the microphone over to you. I see a hand's gone up straight away over there. The microphone's just behind you. Yeah.
Thank you very much for such an inspiring speech. I have a question. Who among the youngest designers you think art is closest to your spirit?
I used to respect Alexander McQueen, but he passed away. So for now, I have nobody. I feel so lonesome. As you know, fast fashion and big brand fashion, they broke the fashion. It's very sad. I didn't walk the mainstream of fashion, mainstream of trend. I kept walking wild side of the street, dark side of the street, and saying, anti road. It was a very narrow road, so it never became major as a business, but I kept walking this narrow, wild road until now.
Thank you. I see your hand's gone up just over there.
Thank you so much for your speech. My question is that what do you think is the essence of the conception of beauty in Japanese culture, and what influence do you think it has on your design?
Most difficult question. I was born naturally as a Japanese. So myself, I didn't need to find Japan because I was born naturally Japanese. European people likes to find something Japanese. So when I started my collection in Paris, so many foreign, mainly Western European, Western people called me, "You Japanese, you Japanese." I was born in the ruin of the war, so I had no experience of Japanese culture because I had nothing in my town, typical Japanese something. So I didn't know I was Japanese. I was just born in Tokyo. So if must say, I'm not Japanese, I'm Tokyo's. I'm from Tokyo, not from Japan. But in my blood, Japanese something is circulating. That's natural, but I don't need to find it. It comes out naturally. The foreign people can find it, can feel it. Oh, you Japanese. So finally, in the newspaper or magazine, the journalists stopped putting my name after show. They didn't use my name. The Japanese did something like that. I was called Japanese. I was called never Mr. Yamamoto. Recently, these 2 or 3 years, they started calling me Mr. Yamamoto.
Thank you. I think we've maybe got time for one more question, so if we go to the hand just over here.
Hello, thank you for that answer. I'd like to ask a question which will fit in with the last thing that lady asked. So concepts like wabi-sabi have been brought into fashion at the moment, like in interior design, and I saw on a website they say get a wabi-sabi bowl, this new trend and things like that. How do you feel about that being commercialized and people taking a Japanese idea and yet they're not Japanese, so they take it out of context? Because in the article I read, there was no Japanese voices in this article of design.
We cannot translate wabi in English, even in French. French, English, Italian don't have language about wabi-sabi. Even in Japanese, if you request us to explain about wabi, you lose your words. You just feel. For example, this might be bad example. When you read book, when you read some book, during reading, you can read between sentence and sentence. Don't you do that? We call it ma. Ma means space. We read space. This is very close to wabi-sabi. Is it right? Is it right? Like that?
Yes. I did. It's off. I did my dissertation on design on wabi-sabi and how Japanese design is influenced by that. But what I was interested in is because we were taught in my lectures that you're not allowed to take a concept from another country and say it's the genuine thing, because this is wabi-sabi is a philosophy too, right? So you cannot say, oh, this is a wabi-sabi bowl, because you're not Japanese, you're not from that culture. You take it out of culture, but you're not understanding where it comes from, the meaning.
You're right. And but let me say, young Japanese people don't understand, because they don't take the lesson. It's not education. It's from blood, education. Sometimes wabi-sabi comes out from craftsmanship. Craftsmanship is not art. It's a hard training, hard training. It's not art. It's hard. It's done. It's finished by hard training of every day by using hand. Then you arrive something beautiful. Maybe you and me go out together until midnight. Talk together.
Okay.
I think that's probably, unfortunately, all we've got time for this evening. I was conscious of the time. But if you could all please join me in saying a huge thank you to Mr. Yamamoto for joining us today.